everybody. It's a Dead Time Radio program. I'm Billy. I'm here with my buddy Don. Hi, Don.
What's up? Hello.
And we are here in Season 3, Episode 2, to talk to you, our beloved listeners. We love you all. We're having so much fun doing this. Every week we look forward to getting together and recording episodes so that we can hear all about how you guys almost peed yourselves with some of the shit we say.
Yes.
That to me, that is the ultimate compliment.
Yeah.
That somebody almost peed themselves from some ridiculous thing that one of us
Or
has
almost
said.
wrecked because they were driving.
Yes.
They were laughing so hard.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's a
Pepsi
beautiful
came
thing.
out their nose. Yeah, all good things.
So today's episode, we are going to bring up one of the things that we loved the last time. It was probably one of our highest rated episodes.
It was one of our highest.
Because the stupidity of humanity is never without entertainment, ever. People do some dumbass shit, and sometimes they die for it. And to me, that's okay. You're just thin in the gene pool, and that's fine with me. Because we all know how Billy feels about humanity in the first place.
Yeah, I don't feel that way.
There is no redemption.
Huh.
So we're going to do another episode of... Ready? I'm going to do the drum roll. You ready, Don? What are we doing, Don?
Darwin Awards!
Yeah!
Yay!
Dun, dun, dun! Brought to you by our friend and co-conspirator, Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin.
There is an award that goes out to every moron that does a wonderful way of spectacularly ending their own life and cleaning out the gene pool. So we're going to start off with one that happened in 2016, which I remember this one. Okay, people, this is not something you want to do, okay, because you'll die. In June of 2016... Colin Nathaniel Scott, 23, was enjoying a graduation vacation at Yellowstone National Park when the beautiful pork chop geyser hot spring reminded him that he could use a good soak. But hot potting is a forbidden delight, ruled off limits for good reason. You will die. Still, this was a college graduation trip. The Portland resident, well, that explains 90% of the reason why he did it, because he's fucking Portland. Thought his education conferred the smarts to know when to break a rule. So Colin left the boardwalk and cruised up a hill in search of a private hot pot soaking spot. In this area of the park, thin mineral crusts that resemble solid ground conceal scalding water pools. But he avoided these unseen pitfalls and found a secluded spring. Recorded on unreleased video, that is a shame that it is unreleased video. Colin is seen reaching down to check the temperature, slipping and falling into the boiling acidic water. And that was the beginning of the end.
Oh.
People don't understand that.
So you stick your finger in there, you just bulge your finger off. You're like, oh, okay, that's a little hot.
Well, it's not only hot water, but it's acid. I mean, it's like
gonna
sulfuric fucking acid.
To your bone, yeah.
That's, have you ever, like, gone and seen a volcano up close?
No.
Okay, so I lived in Hawaii. Well, I didn't live in Hawaii. My parents lived in Hawaii, and I went to go visit them. This was back in, like, 1994. Yeah, 94. And my aunt lives out there, too. So she took me to the Big Island, and she took me to Mount Kilauea, which is, like, the big fucking volcano there. And it was a fascinating tour. It was awesome. And as you're going up the hills, there's, like, deposits of sulfur. Like, you can smell it, and you can see it. It looks like red, like, powdery mustard cake, right? But it's very powerful smell. And there are pools of acid, like, laying around all over the damn countryside, because that's what happens when you get shit coming up from the fucking ground. So, yeah, this guy decided he thought he was in fucking Norway at the little hot springs that they have, and he was going to take him a little bath. So, yeah. So it says when they reached the spring the next day, the water had finished her work. There were no remains remaining. Only a wallet and flip-flops were left. So now we know that flip-flops are actually resistant to acid. That's good to know.
That's good to know. Nice.
Wow.
Always leave your flip-flops.
Right. Leave your flip-flops, because that's
They will
just the
know
way it
you've
is.
been there.
Fucking.
The next one.
Yes. Yes. One of my favorite pastimes. January 2016 referred to, Referred to as a distracted driver, Clifford Ray Jones, 58. Wow.
Wow, that's older than I thought it would be.
Was driving without pants.
Nice.
Because who doesn't?
Yeah, because you just need the air.
You just got to air out the ham.
Windy.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, if the ham gets sticky and you get bat wings, you got to air that out.
That's information.
Not only was he without pants, but he was without a seatbelt and with a porno flick screening on his mobile device.
He was driving and watching porn.
Yes.
No seatbelt, no clothes, or no pants.
It gets better, Don.
Okay.
Add a wide open sunroof on a cold winter Sunday, and you have a recipe for disaster.
Oh my God.
He should have kept his hands on the wheel instead of on the stick. Oh, in the wee hours. Oh. At 3:40 a.m., Clifford's Toyota went out of control on the on-ramp to I-75, rolled and crashed. I love how they do this because I said this last night with that MBA that
You
came
did.
in. The patient was ejected.
Ejaculated.
And I said the patient was ejaculated. Ejaculating our hero through the sunroof in a spectacular climax to his life. Come and gone, Clifford and his beloved Wanky will be fondly remembered in our archives. That is a beautiful epitaph right there.
That is.
That is beautiful.
Wiener.
People,
like you
don't
said.
jerk off while you're driving, okay? Don't be watching porn and fucking driving with no pants.
We were leaving the hospital parking lot, and the guy was texting, and he was driving a freaking forklift with like metal.
Yeah, what's up with
stuff,
that shit?
and he was not watching where he was driving in between all the cars. I was pointing to. I was like, look what he's doing.
That's so fucking
Texting
crazy.
and driving. Oh, people
are stupid.
watch a movie while you're driving.
Right? A porno to that.
A porno.
You're jerking off while driving. I mean, if you're going to do it, I guess it's time to kill some time. Let's put a little whack going on while I'm driving to
that
fucking
gives-
Montana.
A whole new meaning of getting in somebody else's car.
I guess if you don't have a girlfriend, that's the only way you're going to get roadhead is with your hand. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, that's not cool.
Roadhead or jerking off while driving?
Both. Sounds horrible.
Well, if you're driving and you're... Never mind.
You're turning into me, Billy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I've
apparently-
infected you.
His vas deferens had been completely
Expelled.
evacuated. La Petite Mort, 2014, London, England. Humans who aspire to high levels of desire may join the Mile High Club. Still one of the things I'd love to do. Yet our dreams of sex in high places also have couples eyeing more accessible heights, such as rooftops and romantic balconies. Balcony balls are a common sight for neighbors across from Knight's Tower. I have balcony balls.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's what they're meaning though.
No.
An apartment high-rise on the bank of the Thames River in South London. The city lights sparkling on the surface of the waters are irresistible to lovers, and neighbors have seen people on the balcony doing all sorts of things. On a warm Tuesday night in the summertime, a hot couple was observed kissing and frolicking as they engaged in sex on a sixth-floor balcony. Some neighbors closed their drapes while others enjoyed the entertainment, and I bet this guy was driving his car. He would watch this.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Right? Each according to his inclination. It was the usual reality programming for the neighborhood. A party was going on inside the flat. When people came out onto the balcony, the couple would stop their game, only to resume playing the moment they were alone on the balcony. The last thing I expected was to see them falling down 5 floors, said one observer. But the guy was lifting the girl and putting her on the banister. He kept on doing it. They were going back and forth, and suddenly the amorous hotties were balls up over the railing.
Wow.
Natural
Both of
birth
them.
control. The couple did not survive the fall. Good.
Wow.
Don't be dumb. Don't do dumb shit.
Wow.
Don't use the railing as leverage,
No.
because you know how many people have gone to prison for that kind of shit? For real? Like bringing their girlfriend or something over to some high cliff that's got like a railing, and just so they can go, ooh, let's have sex here. And then they accidentally fucking push them over the edge and die. Yeah.
Accidentally on
Stupid.
purpose.
Oh, we have a battle going on
It
in the
sounds
background.
like it. Schmiegel's telling her what for.
Clash of the Titans. Yeah. I hope people are enjoying the free entertainment that comes with us. I mean, even though this is free too. This is the freer entertainment. This is what I deal with every night, every day.
You know what happens when we play this? When the dogs are barking? My dogs go fucking ape shit.
Do they?
Yes.
Awesome.
They're
That's
like running
beautiful.
around and they run to the door like somebody's in the house. So you're welcome to all the people that are listening and your dogs are doing.
It's a beautiful
that.
thing. Just know that I love both of my little angels. And I'm not saying that sarcastically at all. Ugh. Man customizes car ignition sequence to his peril. In February of 2014 in the UK, Scott McKimmy's purple Volkswagen Cabriolet. Do they even make those anymore?
I don't think so. Cabriolet.
Wow. Would not be considered roadworthy by most people, but to a handy mechanic, a flaw can be considered a security feature. Early on Tuesday morning, outside the Phoenix Club in Corby, the 39-year-old started the 1998 Cabriolet in his unusual way. He put the car in gear and reached beneath the hood and touched two wires together to create an ignition spark, also known as hot wiring. Unfortunately, Scott failed to remember that he had not set the handbrake. To make matters worse, he had modified the purple VW to run with a fast idle to prevent stalling. As black wire touched red wire, the engine turned over and started, and the car lurched forward and knocked him over. Due to the fast idle, the vehicle continued on its merry way, inflicting 36 separate injuries on the unfortunate man.
What?
As, like the Duracell Energizer Bunny, it kept going and going. As demonstrated in a police investigation video shown to the court, the engine modifications allowed the car to move forward without stalling when it was in first, second, or third gear. Coroner Ann Pember recorded a verdict of accidental death with this summary. It is quite clear that the cause of this tragedy was the unusual starting method Mr. McKimmey used to start his car.
Wow.
Well, of course it was.
So we went to look at a truck. We were trying to buy like an F-150.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a Craigslist thing. So we drove up there. It was like $1,500 for the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how you started it?
I don't know.
It was a screwdriver.
Oh my God.
There was a screwdriver in the ignition, and he's like, "Oh, you just turn it." I looked at Eric. I said, "No, I'm not. We're not doing this."
Oh my God. You get what you pay for, Don. That was
didn't get it.
$1,499 screwdriver.
Yeah.
The truck was only worth $1. Ooh, we're getting some
They're
live
coming in.
up front ringside.
They're coming into the.
They're coming in.
Yeah.
We're being encroached.
They're
Fucking
in her
believable.
mouth.
This is what I
Smeagol's in
hear
her
all
mouth,
the
really.
time. That's what she said. That's what I call my wiener. Smeagol. Smeagol's in your mouth. Oh, this one's a good one. Smoking hot sauce. 2012, North Carolina. Why else would it be anywhere else?
Yes, that's our stomping grounds.
It
around
was
here.
just a freak incident, said an investigator, that caused the death of 43-year-old Gary Allen Banning, which totally sounds like a Southern name.
Gary
'cause there's-
Allen Bannon.
The only way it would be any different is if his last name was something like Gary Allen John, because they have 3 fucking names, and they're all first names. Gary Allen Banning. Gary was at a friend's apartment when he spotted a salsa jar containing a mystery fluid, thinking that it was an alcoholic beverage, because who just
Who picks
looks
up-
at a salsa fucking
Oh.
jar and thinks, oh, that's got to be alcohol?
Yeah, I don't understand.
He helped himself to a sizable swig of gasoline.
Oh,
Naturally enough, he immediately spit out the offending liquid onto his clothes. Then, to recover from the shock, Gary lit a cigarette.
wow.
Whoosh. Firefighters responded to calls reporting a fire in the apartment and found a badly burned man sitting on a charred carpet. The following morning, Gasoline Gary died at the UNC Burn Center in Chapel Hill. 2 mistakes caused his death. You think?
Yeah. Yeah, too.
The first mistake was minor, gulping a golden liquid from a salsa jar. That could have, that just the way he said that just now,
golden
that
liquid.
gulping a golden liquid.
It could have been that, too.
Oh my God. Although Darwin Awards editors feel that a jar of yellow liquid is best left sealed, drinking its contents usually does not lead to combustion. But the second mistake, lighting up a cigarette to recover from the shock of taking a mouthful of gasoline, was a decision that an average 5-year-old would consider questionable. As the late Bill Hicks said, darn, we lost another idiot. Fucking miss Bill Hicks. Gary's friend was a mechanic and kept a jar of gasoline near the kitchen sink to remove grease from his hands. Oh, wow. Some of these reader comments. That's some hot salsa.
Yep.
Gasoline and chlorine are both effective at cleansing the gene pool. That is a
I like that one.
Beautiful quote.
Quentin.
You can't fix stupid, but stupid eventually fixes itself.
We would hope so, but sometimes not.
Dumb people should smoke more. Great balls of fire. Shine is generally clear, so even by Carolina standards, this is dumb.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Patrick. We are aware of that, Patrick.
Oh my God,
your
that's
shine,
beautiful.
if it's got a tint to it, your shine ain't good.
If your shine's
you need to
yellow,
run it through 1 or 2 more times.
Your shine's yeller, it probably ain't shine. Mm-hmm. How did I just go to Sling Blade?
I don't know.
I like your French fry taters. I reckon I'm gonna kill you. Mm-hmm.
Disturbing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tree hard, head empty. February 2003, New York. 25-year-old man, long accustomed to annoying neighbors by snowmobiling at high speeds through sleeping streets, finally received his comeuppance. And in the process, a Darwinian nomination, when he drove headfirst into a tree. It is not only his reckless speeding through a nighttime residential area that makes him eligible, nor is it merely because he was driving an unregistered, uninsured snowmobile without a helmet while drunk.
Nice.
Although these spectacularly stupid ideas were ultimately responsible for his demise, there's yet another relevant aspect to the report. Brian the Brain was a fireman.
Nice.
A member of the same company dispatched to peel him off the tree. The same organization that preaches snowmobile safety responds to other gruesome drunken snowmobile accidents, and the very same company that posts an illuminated helmet safety notice 700 feet from his own home.
Nice.
Clearly, while others have been as foolish as Brian in their choice of recreational activities, few have been so uniquely aware of the possible repercussions prior to making that choice.
Wow.
It's so
okay, so
fucking
that's
good.
instant karma right there.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
yeah.
if you got all those things and I just, stupid.
Unbelievable. Some people just don't get it. But that's why we love the Darwin Awards,
That's why
because
we
it
love this.
takes care of it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a good
Ooh,
one right here in
South
our own home state.
Kakalaki. South
Sparkleberry
Kakalaki.
Lane. That sounds like a fucking scary place.
Sparkleberry Lane.
You
Yeah.
take a left on Meridian, and you go about a mile, and you're going to take a right on Sparkleberry Lane.
If you
But
see
don't
the-
hit the willow tree. The willow tree's almost out in the middle of the road. You don't want to hit that. Because that tree been around for about 100 years. And Custis ain't going to like it if you hit his tree. And that tree's pretty hard. I know because I hit that tree. I clipped it right on the front left. You see that little dent on my bumper? I clipped that hard.
You do that too well.
I was driving it was about midnight. I had me a couple burrs, and I clipped it hard. I almost went in the ditch, but I went around the tree, and yeah. So don't hit a tree, but you're gonna take a ride on Sparkleberry Lane. You're gonna get what you want. Go there. 2 disguised men entered a Sprint store on Sparkleberry Lane. Pulling out guns and stole wallets, purses, and credit cards from employees before ordering them into a bathroom. Both men fled, but they could not flee from their own stupidity. 23-year-old James T. had disguised himself by painting his face gold.
Nice.
Yes, in order to conceal his identity during the robbery, James had covered his skin with spray paint. Okay, if this isn't a Darwin Award, what is? Paints are clearly labeled. Do not get on skin. Do not get in eyes, and do not inhale. Paint fumes are well known to be toxic, and the metal colors are particularly noxious. James began having trouble breathing and died wheezing shortly after the robbery took place. To add insult to injury, the disguise was ineffective. Witnesses were certain as to identify the identity of their assailant. He had lived, James, like his surviving accomplice, would have been charged with armed robbery had he lived. Wow. That sounds like
Wow.
something from South Carolina.
It does. Totally does.
Hey,
100%.
Jimmy, let's get some spray paint. I got an idea. Get some spray paint. I got some guns. Let's go down to the bookstore.
The
I'm gonna-
bookstore.
You can put the spray paint on because if you look gold, nobody knows it's you. That's a secret. I think it was a good idea,
Too
Jimmy.
many beers.
Oh my God,
Too many.
that's totally
23-year-old.
Yeah, 23. Wow. Thank the gods he's gone.
Right. He would have procreated.
Yes, I agree. Wetting the bed. Oh, we have to read that just
okay.
because. October 2009, Arkansas, 30-year-old Miss Devon Leanne of Shongaloo, Louisiana. That's a long fucking
It's a
name.
long name.
Was visiting Lake Erling with a male friend. Recent bouts of heavy rain had resulted in a flood of runoff water, and the two decided it would be fun to take a mattress careening down the surging water in the spillway.
Oh my god. Wow. Like, okay, just that. Like, who's going to
yeah.
say, hey, let's jump on this bed right here and ride it down?
James from South Carolina.
Spillway.
I got an idea.
He would, yeah.
I'm going to spray my body gold, and I'm going to get me a mattress, and I'm going to ride down that river. Hold my beer. Unfortunately, Devon Leanne was riding a foam egg crate style mattress pad.
Wow.
Imagine a wet foam pad. Are you sinking yet?
Wow.
According to her friend, Devon Leanne simply vanished from sight at dusk. The next morning, her body was found in a tangle of trees 70 yards below the spillway. Parents, warn your children, wetting the bed can be deadly. It's fucking beautiful.
That was
So-
a waste of a perfectly good mattress.
That's right. Do not use egg crate
What is
mattresses
wrong with you?
to go flume riding.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh, we got to read this one. Oil tank trampoline.
Oh, wow. Okay.
2007, Colorado. If you cut the rug on an oil tank, be careful not to light a cigarette, else you may soon be climbing the proverbial stairway to heaven. After smoking marijuana, and liquoring themselves, up at a popular party spot in Root National Forest, a group of teens decided that it would be fun to leap and cavort on an oil tank. The energy gyrations of the dancers caused fumes to leak from the relief valve, and there were several ignition sources. According to the sheriff, people were smoking, and there was a bonfire nearby. One of these ignition sources sparked a flash dance, and the crude oil storage tank exploded, hurling two men 150 yards to their death.
Wow. That was some fireworks right there.
The deceased were identified as Samuel and Christopher, 17 and 19. To review the rules, 1, reproduction. At 17 and 19, they had not yet reproduced, nor can they now reproduce. 2, self-selection. They thought it was wise to jump on an oil tank containing 160 barrels of crude oil while stoned out of their gourds. 3, excellence. Stoned, insensible, drunker than drunk, and dancing on an oil tank exuding flammable vapors near a campfire. 4, maturity. Both are the minimum age, or over the minimum age of 16. And 5, veracity. MSNBC.com and AP. Those must be the rules for winning this award.
I got you.
I guess. That's pretty fucking dumb. Wow. It doesn't surprise me though at all. It's nice to know though that I'm looking at this and there's a list, and it goes all the way back to 1993.
Yes.
That's where we read "The Priapism Takes a Penis."
Yep.
Which was such a beautiful, loving story.
Yep.
Oh, the death of Dracula. We have to read this one.
Okay.
1993. A college student costumed himself as Dracula for Halloween. As a finishing touch, he put a pine board down the front of his shirt so he could realistically sink a knife into the board and pretend he was transfixed by a vampire-killing stake. He didn't consider the strength of the thin pine board that when he tapped the knife in with a hammer. Propelled by the force of the hammer, the sharp blade split the soft wood and buried itself in his heart. He staggered from his dorm room into the Halloween party, gasping, "I really did it," before succumbing.
I bet that was amazing, and they were
What?
just clapping and
A fucking moron.
Moron.
Moron. I just can't even say moron because he's not a full-fledged moron. He's a moron.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Dude, what makes you sit there and think of things like this?
I'm just going to hammer this knife into this board while I'm holding it onto my chest.
Right.
Now, like a logical would be like, okay, I'm going to put it down.
Right,
and
test it first.
Hammer it into the board and then strap it to my chest.
The chicks are going to
Not
want my
while
wiener tonight.
you are hit. Like, that's an awkward way to do it anyway.
That's what he was saying. The chicks are going to want my wiener tonight when I show them this trick. Fucking
No more
idiots.
wiener to want.
That's right. No more wiener to want. Fish gag. This sounds like somebody choked on some fish.
Let's hope so.
That's what she said. 1992.
No, she never said that.
A solo fishing expedition near Livingstone in Zambia turned into a tragedy when 28-year-old Harris Simwaba was choked to death by a live fish which accidentally slid and lodged itself into his throat. Wow. Simwaba hooked the fish from the Chungu River, 16 kilometers east of Livingstone. The Zambian media reported yesterday when he tried to bite the fish to death, it slid down his throat. Simwaba tried to hook out the fish with a stick, but he pushed it further down his throat instead. Villagers going to their fields on Sunday morning found his body sprawled on the ground with a stick dangling from his mouth.
Nice.
The fish came out when one of the villagers pulled the stick out of Simwaba's mouth. Wow.
So he could have just pulled a stick.
Or just not put the stick in his mouth in the first place, and maybe, I don't know.
How did the fish jump in there?
He was
Your
probably,
mouth,
I'm
was
sure
that
there was
wide?
more than just, I was just there fishing, and the fish just jumped into my throat.
Like, I don't, like what? How? I don't understand
How
how
many
that
times
would
do we hear
happen.
stories like that at night?
Oh, thousands.
I was just at home reading my Bible, minding my own business, and
fell on.
somehow I got shot 7 times in the chest.
Yep, exactly. I was on my way to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah. I was just going to see my mama.
Yep.
Oh my God. Modus operandi misfires. 1998, March. Randy Nestor, 28, was a considerate car thief. When the stolen cars became hot, he didn't just abandon them, he torched them. Setting the cars on fire, he reasoned, helped the owners collect insurance on their vehicles. This criminal habit became his downfall. After a 10-year career of theft, Randy burned to death in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in a van, which he had set fire to from inside. He hadn't realized that the door handle on the driver's side was broken. Friends tried to release him, but the door was locked. His burned body was found inside the van on Sunday. Now my question is, was that van down by a river?
Yes. You live in a van down by the river.
Fuck yeah, baby. Love crushed sex. That sounds like something I would want to read. 1999, Florida.
Florida.
Again.
Okeechobee.
Okeechobee. That's Trailer Park, Florida, isn't it? Okeechobee?
I don't know.
I don't know. But
That's
yeah.
You go over the Okeechobee.
You already know
River.
if it says Florida, it's going to be an
Yeah.
interesting story.
Yep.
Okeechobee County investigators believe the death of Brian, 28, I see a trend here,
Yep.
was related to his wife's habit of stomping rabbits and mice for sexual pleasure. Okay,
What?
she should already
Stop.
be shot right there.
What
Fucking
are you
Stephanie,
talking about?
29, was sentenced to 2 years of probation and community service for the death of her husband Brian, who was found in a pit with a board over his body, crushed beneath the rear wheel of his sports utility vehicle. Stephanie did not deny that she drove over her husband, but in her own defense, she released tapes to the police showing her stomping small animals to death. She was identified by a cryptic tattoo on her lower leg. Such crush videos are sold to people who derive sexual pleasure from the sight of death, especially at the hands of a woman. Wow. It was aberrant and cruel, said Assistant State Attorney Bernard Romero. My first instinct was to seek the maximum penalty. That wouldn't have been my first instinct. It would have been to choke that bitch out. But Stephanie contended that she was an unwilling participant in the videos and had been beaten many times by her husband prior to his bizarre death. Stephanie was charged in July with 2 counts of felony animal cruelty, which were later reduced to misdemeanors. As for her husband, his death under the wheels of his car was presumably a loving sex act between consenting adults. But a man who would lie in a special pit while a woman he groomed for crush videos drove over him shouldn't be surprised when he winds up holding a Darwin Award.
There's so much happening in this.
Yeah.
Like
First of all,
I don't
Florida.
understand.
Florida man and Florida woman get together, and it's like
What?
it's like a tornado and a fucking hurricane
Wow.
meeting. I wonder if bath salts were involved.
I don't know.
People who
Ugh.
do those crush videos are fucking disgusting, and I would love to see a crush video that turned into a snuff video of these fucking people getting shot in the head as they do it. Because if you're cruel to animals like that, you're a fucking asshole, and I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, that's why I said there's so much going on there.
No fucking way.
Maybe he wanted her to stop, and she said, "Fuck no, I'm gonna run over you."
No. Especially rabbits and mice.
No,
Come
yeah,
on.
don't do it.
It's fucking rude, man.
So we're glad that happened.
Just, you know what? Just fucking, if you really need to get all crazed out, just fucking drive at 3 o'clock in the morning with no pants on, watching a porno, and jerk off. I mean, that's the only way you can really get rid of stuff. Oh, the power of Satan?
Oh,
November
1999.
1999. Good year. A church held a pageant that culminated in an exciting climactic battle between God and Satan. A stage actor was hired to play Satan and encouraged to use by any means necessary to make the role more realistic. Oh, great. That's always a recipe for disaster. A true professional, he used a voice shifter to make his voice sound dark and evil, and even gave a display of his fire-breathing skills.
wow.
These theatrics proved to be too much for two members of the congregation who had heart attacks on the spot and were rushed to the hospital. One died and the other is in critical condition, which is certainly a dramatic way of saying the reviews are in and the show is a smash.
Wow.
Wow.
So they just got scared?
Yeah.
Just the fire?
Well, you know how people are that are hardcore, super Bible thumpers.
Yeah.
And it's almost like back in the 30s when Orson Welles did the War of the Worlds radio broadcast, and people committed suicide because they thought we were really being invaded by Mars.
Well, we were talking about that this weekend as
Yeah.
the being invaded. We think that the aliens are
Right.
probably coming soon. So that's
But that's basically what it is.
But that's
They really
basically
thought
what
it
it
was
is.
really
They thought
Satan.
it was Satan, and they just died.
He was such a good actor
Wow.
and so realistic that they
Wow.
thought he was really
He
the
needs
devil.
an award.
His name was Bobby Boucher.
Boucher, I was going to say the devil, Bobby.
That's the devil. Uh-oh. Back home. Maine. Chainsaw Romance.
Ooh.
July 1999 in Maine. An internet romance blossomed then faded after a Missouri man traveled to Maine to meet his destiny.
Ooh.
In a bizarre merging of You've Got Mail with Texas
Oh,
Chainsaw
man.
Massacre,
I'd watch that.
James swung a chainsaw and severed his own neck in a futile effort to prove his love to the woman who had spurned his face-to-face romance. Wow. He began his relationship with Beth over the internet a year ago and moved from Missouri to Topsom. That was right down the street from where I lived.
Really?
Yeah. On June 23rd, to further the affair. Instead, she insisted upon ending the relationship. Distraught, James drove to her house on River Road. I know exactly where that is. That's the road I lived on.
Oh.
Knocked on the door and asked her adult son to get his mother. I can see it now. Get your mother. I got something to show her. Knocked on the door and asked her son to get his mother. The son refused and locked all the doors. James pulled a chainsaw from his trunk, stood on the lawn, and performed his macho act in a vain attempt to impress the depth of his feelings upon the woman. Police arrived to find him barely alive. There was blood all over. I couldn't see where the wound was, explained William Robbins of the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department. James died in the hospital shortly thereafter. Deborah, a friend of the deceased, believes that Beth abused James's affection. He spent thousands of dollars on calls, emails, and computers, she said, and also helped that woman pay her bills.
Oh.
Deborah received a desperate phone call just hours before he took his life. She reported that he begged, "Tell me you forgive me." She did, and then the phone went dead. She attempted to alert authorities, but had insufficient information regarding his whereabouts. James had attempted suicide 5 years earlier and had seemingly recovered his equilibrium. He purchased the chainsaw in Maine a week prior to his sensational death. One last oddity, James has two brothers, also named James, and the three are distinguished by middle names. Is this a clear sign of parental lunacy, a coincidence, or the cause of his insanity? You be the judge.
Wow.
I can hear it now. Ma.
Was he trying to juggle? What
Ma,
was he
there's
trying
some
to do?
goddamn guy in the front yard. He's got a fucking chainsaw. Why does he have a goddamn chainsaw, Ma? Mom, he's swinging that fucker. All around. He's gonna fucking cut his head off. I guarantee you, he's gonna cut his goddamn head right off. Mama, come check it out.
She steps up and then
This dink wink fucking swinging a goddamn goddamn chainsaw. Now there's blood everywhere, Ma. I ain't cleaning that shit. Tell my goddamn brother he gotta clean that. I gotta take the trash out. That's his fucking chore. Fucking chainsaws. That's how that went down.
it sounded amazing.
Goddamn dink. He wicked retarded. Who fucking swings a goddamn chainsaw like that? Goddamn retard.
Oh, my face hurts.
Done.
Yep.
A little PSA. Dynamite and boats don't mix. In case you were wondering.
Okay, thanks for telling me.
June of 1998 in Illinois,
I was unaware.
a man drowned in Fox Lake after he and a friend inadvertently blasted a hole in the bottom of their rowboat with a quarter stick of dynamite.
Wow.
Daniel, 29, and his unidentified friend were relaxing on the lake on Sunday in a 14-foot aluminum boat when they decided to toss the M250 explosive into the water. They intended to kill fish with the blast, not themselves, said Chief Deputy Coroner Jim Whipper. I like his name. Jimmy Whipper.
Jimmy Whipper.
A sudden gust of wind pushed their boat over the firecracker, and the boat sank about 100 yards from shore. Daniel drowned, and the friend swam safely to land. Well, you know what, dude? That's kind of fucked up that your friend didn't try and save you. Apparently, Daniel doesn't know how to swim, and that's why he drowned.
Obviously. That's what,
Because if you blow a hole in the boat, you got time to fucking get out of the boat and swim.
Yeah.
It's not like it's fucking sinking in 2 seconds.
Well, it said a rowboat,
Yeah.
so it was a tiny boat.
It's just fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, that liposuction tragedy right there. What's that one?
Oh, I hope this is the one that I told you about.
I hope so.
Yes, it is.
That's the one you told me about.
Yes. So in September 1999 in New York, David, a 44-year-old Mineola man, was more desperate to be rid of his flab than most. Why not save money and allow his friend to perform amateur liposuction on him in his garage? Who wouldn't think that?
Oh, man, yeah. Let's do it.
You know, as you might guess, using a vacuum for liposuction is not the safest of weight loss programs. David died in the makeshift medical clinic, the victim of a lidocaine overdose. He didn't die from the sucking fat. Oh my God. How the fuck did they get lidocaine?
Well, that's my question.
Anyone foolish enough to lie back and take the medical administrations of an unlicensed liposuctionist in his garage workshop deserves a Darwin Award for his heedless vanity. Wow. The fake physician apologized to the man's family, though.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
I'm kind of curious, though, how he did get lidocaine, because
I mean,
that's a controlled substance.
where?
But I'm more surprised that he didn't die from the vacuum cleaner sucking fat out of his body.
It probably worked.
Yeah, I don't think I want... Let's find out. I got a fucking shot back. Let's do it.
No. We're not Darwin awarding. We're not going to become part of the Darwin Award.
Right? Exactly.
That was their best show.
That was their best show. It was their best and only show.
That's the way to send off their third season.
That's right. We're starting off season 3 with a live liposuction in Billy's garage. But first, we're going to give you a show of the great battle royale between Smeagol and Mara.
Yep.
November 2001 in Hungary. 2 farmers were killed and a third was hospitalized with serious injuries after the men attempted to kill a pig with a homemade stun gun during a traditional Hungarian pre-Christmas slaughter. One farmer electrocuted himself with the jury-rigged device during an unsuccessful attempt to knock out the pig.
Wow.
The elderly owner of the pig was so alarmed at the tragedy unfolding before his eyes that he suffered a heart attack and died. The third farmer tried to come to the rescue of the first farmer by pulling the plug out of the socket. He was shocked but survived. The pig came to no harm that day.
Wow.
3 farmers walk into a bar. Holy fuck.
Oh, man.
People are stupid.
Wow.
Firecracker Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
That sounds like a good horror movie.
It's one line.
It's Croatia. What do you expect?
2002.
A Croatian was killed because they're in Croatia. In case anybody was wondering who lives in Croatia, Croatians. While trying to open a hand grenade with a chainsaw.
Nice.
There is no more words needed.
Wow.
That's why it's only one line.
It's two sentences, but it's one line. Yes.
He wanted to retrieve the explosive to make firecrackers for the New Year's holiday.
Wow. Okay, so if it wouldn't have got him then, it would have got him if he had actually got the shit out of there to make a firecracker. It'd have blown everybody else up, too.
It's probably a good idea not to use a chainsaw to try and cut a fucking grenade open.
Grenade, yeah. Yep.
Wow. July 2002 in Romania. Hey, who lives in Romania? Croatians?
Croatians.
I think it's Romanians.
Romanians.
Forget posted train schedules. Like an American Indian listening for horses in an old western, a Romanian man placed his ear against the tracks to listen for the arrival of a train scheduled to stop at his station. Instead, the 46-year-old man was hit by an express train and died instantly from head trauma. Apparently, it's true that you don't hear the bullet that hits you.
I mean, the bullet trains are so smooth. It's not vibrations like a normal train.
No, because some of them are like those Japanese ones are maglev.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't even stay on the track. They float above the track.
Yep. Magnetic. Yep.
I'm fucking crazy. Dude, you're not fucking Tonto, all right? You're more like Tontovich.
Put your ear to the ground.
Tontovich. Fucking, yeah, hey.
Oh.
Stick your head on the fucking train track and see if you can hear the fucking electric train coming.
It's like my car. You can't hear it coming. It sounds like an alien.
Right. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Ooh, booby traps. Trap boob.
Oh, no.
Okay. Now we're getting into boobs.
Now it's boob territory.
Now I'm interested. 2002 in Belgium. It's nice to know that we're not the only country with really fucking stupid people.
Yeah, we got some. It's spreading it around, spreading the love.
A retired engineer booby-trapped his home with the intention of killing his estranged family, but died himself after inadvertently triggering one of his own devices.
It's like the dude with the car on the last one.
Yep. At first, police assumed that the 79-year-old had committed suicide, as he was found alone with a bullet wound in his neck. Then a detective missed a bullet by inches when he opened a booby-trapped wooden chest. Police beat a hasty retreat from the property and called in military experts. They deciphered an enigmatic series of scribbled clues to locate 19 death traps in walls, ceilings, and household objects.
Holy shit.
A pile of booby-trapped dinner plates was revealed by the clue, cheaper by the dozen.
No.
It's fucking brilliant.
Seriously?
This man is not fucking stupid. He's brilliant.
Yeah, it sounds like it's one of those...
yes.
One of those escape the room
yes.
things where you got to figure shit out. Cheaper by the dozen.
Except
Ooh, plates.
it's more
Ooh,
deadly.
Yeah, okay, so now it's got a bomb in it.
A reference to a film in which a child throws a plate at someone's head. Police speculate that the notes were intended to assist his failing memory. Other traps...
That's even scarier.
Yeah. Other traps included numerous concealed shotguns triggered by threads, and an exploding crate of beer set to detonate once a certain number of bottles were removed.
Dude.
It took 3 weeks to crack 19 of the 20 clues, and experts were forced to admit defeat on the final note. The 12 apostles are ready to work on the pebbles, said one. We have never come across anything like it before. It was fiendishly clever.
Dude, I like puzzles. I would totally be like,
yeah,
okay,
right?
give me those. I'll sit here and do those.
True to form, the fiendishly clever but careless Darwin Award winner was described by neighbors as a taciturn but harmless man who enjoyed puttering in his garage.
Because he was making all the damn booby traps.
Right, but relatives say he never forgave his wife for divorcing him 20 years before. That's a grudge right there.
Oh, yeah.
Police believe the began installing the traps for 4 years. Oh, he began.
He began.
Oh, they
misspelled it.
Began. Installing the traps for 4 years after losing a lengthy battle to keep his home.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So they never figured out the last clue.
Nope.
But they don't say what it is, so
Nope.
I guess they never figured it out.
Nope.
Fucking sweet, dude. The 12 apostles.
Maybe that's the one. The 12
ready to
apostles
work
are ready to work on the
the
pebbles.
Done.
What?
Quit breathing so heavy.
You got me excited. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, Mara. Do you need some oxygen? That loud ass. I swear to God, I'm gonna record your fucking breathing and use it as for crank calls. Can't do
She's
crank
fixing to
calls
be
anymore.
Darwin Award by choking herself out with this
Right?
cord here.
Blown away. Now, you know what? This could go anyway.
Yep.
Just with that whole title alone.
Mm.
July 2001, United States. An assistant plant manager for Blackledge Emulsions died when he used an acetylene torch to cut a hole in a 10,000-gallon tank of asphalt emulsion. He was attempting to visually survey the amount of emulsion that remained in the tank, but no safety precautions were taken before the cutting operation began.
What?
Stated an OSHA representative. His attention was twice called to a warning sign on the side of the structure which stated the contents were combustible. In complete disregard of safety procedures, the erstwhile manager lit an acetylene torch and began cutting, causing an explosion that blew him 93 feet away.
93 feet away. Wow.
Do you know, my mom used to work in a buffet. She was a manager of a buffet of a casino in Las Vegas. And they would have these big giant signs that would show, like, they would have, like, on holidays, they had, like, Mimosa Sunday, all this other shit, right? So they would have a sign that would show an arrow pointing to the mimosas that were alcoholic and to the mimosas that were just orange juice.
Okay.
Okay? And people would still come up and ask her, are these alcoholic?
Can they read? Maybe they
says-
couldn't read.
It said non-alcoholic, right?
Maybe they couldn't
No
read.
alcohol in this one. Are these alcoholic? I can't drink alcohol. They would ask her this.
Maybe they just wanted to tell her that they couldn't drink alcohol.
I have no idea, but there's some dumb fucking people. And they should pay the dumb tax. 2001, Tennessee. The day before the U.S. tax filing deadline, which happened to be on Sunday, April 15th, because the tax filing deadline is extended when the U.S. Post Office is closed, a Memphis Darwin Award winner was in a rush to file. En route to the post office, he was evidently trying to beat a train when he drove around the crossing gates.
Oh.
We have seen what happens to
We
people
saw that.
when they do that.
Yes.
Only to be struck by an oncoming vehicle driver with the same mad plan. Oh, that's even worse. The driver of the northbound vehicle was killed, the southbound wounded, making this monumental stupidity the first instance we have witnessed a Darwin Award winner colliding with an at-risk survivor. Wow. The accident happened to one side of the tracks, so as a cosmic act of politeness, the train passed by unimpeded, and the passengers were not inconvenienced.
Wow.
Unfucking believable.
Dude. 2 of them.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, that's fucking dangerous. People, when those things go down, don't go around them.
Like 100 feet.
Yes,
or
you're not. It's not
so
far.
close.
And no, nothing is that important that you're in such a fucking hurry that happens. That's oh my god, people are so fucking dumb.
Patience.
Here's a good one: cigarette lighter triggers
Oh,
fatal
Lord.
explosion. In December 1996 in Indiana, a Jay County man using a cigarette lighter to check the barrel of a muzzleloader. A muzzleloader is a rifle that has fucking black powder in it for
What?
its fucking propellant.
What? I mean, why didn't he use a flashlight?
He was killed Monday night when the weapon discharged in his face.
He had his eyeball looking down in there.
Right? Well, I bet one. What color were his eyes?
One blue
They were
that way,
blue.
one blue
Yeah,
that way.
They were blue. Gregory, 19, died in his parents' rural Dunkirk home at about 11:30 p.m. Investigators said Pryor was cleaning a 54 caliber muzzleloader. He had no face
What?
left.
He had nothing. He was
That
a
had
stump.
not been firing properly. So he was using the lighter to look into the barrel when the gunpowder
It
ignited.
was just too much gunpowder. He cleared it out. Now you can use it.
Yeah, he sure as
fixed
fuck
it.
did. Yeah, it
I fixed
shoots
it.
like shoots true now.
Shoots true. Shoots right.
Unfucking believable, man. Who thinks? Okay. I can say this now because I survived.
What's that?
And I didn't know at the time. I was in my garage in Vegas one time, and I had boxes out there of, like, my things, right? So one day I walk out there, and there's, like, wet underneath one of the boxes, like water spilled. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I had a cigarette in my mouth, and I leaned down, and I'm like, cigarette in the mouth, trying to figure out what it is. And I looked to the left of what it was that had spilled. It was fucking lighter fluid.
Billy. You're
could have
lucky.
been
You
a
could have been a
Darwin
Darwin
nominee.
on
Yes.
here,
I could
me
have
reading
been.
it with somebody
Yes.
else. Wow.
2005, Las Vegas, Nevada. Dipshit, thinking it's a water spill, finds out it is lighter fluid. So yeah, it happens. I understand it, but as soon as I found out it was fucking lighter fluid, I fucking moved the cigarette out of the way. Okay, I didn't go, hey, I wonder what happened if I get a little closer.
Arid extra dry.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one. Dum Dum Boutique.
Nice.
1999, New York. Perhaps as people get older, some folks really should retire from their careers, so it would seem for one 55-year-old burglar. You see, Terrence found new meaning in the term hanging around late at the bar. When he never returned home one night, it turned out that he was actually trying to break through the roof's window of a shop called the Dum Dum Boutique, a catchy name for a clothing shop. By bending back bars on the window, from this vantage point, he made a commanding move and jumped into the store through this hole. Unfortunately, his sweater apparently didn't like all that fashion and refusing to join him, caught on one of the bent bars, which subsequently strangled him to death. He was found dead at the scene on Saturday morning.
Oh, no.
That is instant karma, is
That
what
is
that is.
karma. That's
Instant karma.
beautiful.
Yes. I like
My husband watches the fails, and there was this car trying to get over, and it just pushed this black car over. It was trying to get over, so it was just pushing this black car. Well, it got in front of him, and it was a cop, so he immediately threw his lights on. I was like, yes, that's my favorite thing of all time.
Nice.
Because they do that too.
Yes.
They do that to me all the time.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I love it. It had done that to a police officer.
Mind the cone zone. That's what she said. Billy,
You need to get that looked at.
you need to mind the cone zone.
Oh, that cone zone.
The
The
cones,
woman's
the
cone zone,
boobies, the
not your
boobies,
cone
the
zone.
lady cones.
The lady cones. That's gonna be a new saying.
I like your lady cones.
Mind the lady cones.
Ma'am,
I don't
you
mind
Have,
your lady cones.
you have some extravagant lady cones.
Ooh, that's a nice line.
March 2018, New Jersey. Oh, I know. I've used it.
I believe it.
A Wanamaker man died in a vehicle fire after he drove around barricade cones and onto live power wires in Franklin Lakes. A good son, Anthony G., was en route to his father's house to shovel the driveway after the second nor'easter storm in a week. Hundreds of thousands were left without power. Utility crews worked overtime to deal with downed trees and electrical lines. Traffic snarls and frustrated motorists were everywhere. Anthony did not want to lose time to a detour. According to police, our winner simply navigated around the bright orange traffic cones, warning motorists of a hazardous downed wire on Route 208.
Oh,
Responding to
that's
calls,
what you get.
officers arrived at 9 a.m. to find the vehicle fully engulfed in flames. A live power line was sputtering in the roadway near the vehicle. The fire totally gutted the car, and the driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Ironically, this Darwin Award winner was employed as a New York City electrician.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
killed by your job. That should be
No,
good.
he just he was an electrician. He should have known better. He should have not driven over that thing.
But he didn't know what was happening. He just went around the
Yeah,
fucking
he
cones.
went around the cones and got zapped. I bet it probably
Because there was
just
a down
hit just
power
right.
line he was going to.
Yeah, no, he was going to shovel his dad's driveway. And
I'm just saying.
yeah, but I'm thinking
He could have
that
gotten
it
out
hit
to help.
the gas tank and fucking.
Oh, yeah, you know it
sparked.
did.
Yeah. A 36-year-old biochemist, 2000, California, who was dying to see the legendary rock band Kiss on their farewell tour, got his wish. Sean traveled from Calistoga to the Oakland Coliseum and was enjoying the show, except for one little problem. He was dissatisfied with his seat in the top row of the stadium. He climbed a 7-foot wall to gain a better view of the stage, only to inadvertently discover a new seat 3 stories below. The group he had traveled with to the concert had no idea he was missing until the show ended and the police began asking questions. That's when they learned that Sean had mistaken a curtain for a solid wall, leaned back, and fallen to his death on an escalator
Oh.
100 feet below.
That's horrible.
A police spokesman said the site of the accident was a good place to obtain a better view. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, so apparently there's a...
Oh, there's a look at that.
There's
They've
a
been falsely
response from
informed.
John Friedman, Esquire. You have been falsely informed about this tragic death. I represent the victim's father and mother in a wrongful death claim against the Oakland County Coliseum Authority and others, and would be happy to provide you with the actual facts. The wall behind his seat was only about waist high to anyone standing on the seat, and the wall is commonly used as a seat by fans. The heavy tarp behind the wall was supposed to have been fastened to the wall to prevent this kind of tragedy, but the job was never completed. I will send a copy of the complaint if you would like. Let me tell you something, John Friedman, Esquire. The motherfucker shouldn't have been on the wall in the first place.
Don't do it, whether it was hooked or not hooked.
Exactly.
Your kid was at fault.
And if the kid's a big fat fuck, that thing ain't going to hold him. That tarp's going to pull right out of the wall.
I mean, either way.
Fucking lawyers, dude.
You paid for that. He paid for that seat. He's the one that did something that wasn't. Wow. Dad.
Sometimes, Don, you just got to count your chickens.
Count your chickens.
1995 in Egypt. Oh, this should be interesting.
Nice.
6 people drowned Monday while trying to rescue a chicken that had fallen into a well in southern Egypt. That's a noble effort.
6 people.
6 people.
6 people.
I
That's
can
a whole
understand
family.
one. I can understand one.
That was their only chicken.
Right. An 18-year-old farmer was the first to descend into the 60-foot well. He drowned. Apparently after an undercurrent in the water pulled him down.
Wait, what kind of well was it? There's an undercurrent in a well?
Who the fuck knows?
Well, we don't have wells like that around here.
I don't know. Police said his sister and 2 brothers, none of whom could swim well. It wasn't an undercurrent. They couldn't swim. Went in one by one to help him, but also drowned. 2 elderly farmers then came to help, but they apparently were pulled by the same undercurrent. The bodies of the 6 were later pulled out of the well in the village of Nazlat Imara, 240 miles south of Cairo. The chicken was also pulled out. It survived.
Because it stood on 6 bodies.
I'm still trying to grasp how you get an undercurrent in a well.
I don't know. I don't understand.
When there's no motion, it's a well because it's just water sitting in a fucking hole.
Container that you put a bucket in and you pull it out.
Katie, get on that one.
I don't understand what that means. But the chicken survives because he stood on the bodies of 6 dead people.
The only thing that should have survived.
Yeah. They were trying to save it because they were going to eat it.
This was a good one episode.
This is a good one. We love Darwin Awards.
Darwin Awards is great. There will be more. And we want to thank you guys for listening. Give us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. Give us a call at 843-492-7966. We'll see you next time.